What's up guys, it's Ed from TechSource, and today we're going to be taking a look at the MSI AEGIS Ti, which is the bigger brother of the Aegis that I reviewed on the channel a few months back. And if you guys somehow missed that, I'll drop a link to it down below. I think we can all agree when I say aesthetically, this thing is a complete eyesore. MSI claims improved cooling performance, which I did find to be true by a few degrees, but couldn't we have gotten something that appeals to consumers outside of the age 25? So the front is where you will find a DVD drive, two USB 3.0, 10 gigabit ports, USB Type-C port, audio jacks, and an HDMI pass-through for VR, and finally an overclock button that will boost both clock and fan speeds.
And you may want to put on a seatbelt.
There is RGB lighting wrapped around the front, and the aggressive design is carried all around the case. Awkward is the best word I can come up with to describe its looks. MSI did at least include a sturdy metal handle for when you're moving the Aegis around. Moving down onto the second platform, and yes, there are platforms, we can see the 850 watt 80 plus platinum power supply, as well as two 3.5 inch hard drive bays. I actually like the placement of these bays. I don't have to disassemble anything when I need to add extra storage in the near future. Our testing unit includes an Intel Core i7-6700K, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM clocked at 2133 MHz. We have two MSI GTX 1070s. We also have two M.2 drives in RAID 0 with a total space of 500 gigs, as well as a 2TB hard drive. Needless to say, this thing devoured all of the benchmarks I threw at it, so let's go ahead and take a look at the results. The performance area, of course, is off the charts with such OP hardware inside, but what really caught me off guard was the lack of improvement to temps I thought I would see from what MSI calls their silent storm cooling. There are separate chambers that cool different components, and although there could have been a positive effect from this design, I'm only able to draw conclusions based on the temperatures from similar builds I've had in the past. The numbers are very similar, with the only improvements being seen with the GPUs. Now, because MSI separated the cards from the other components, they were able to boost up to 1800 MHz for a longer time compared to the more traditional case design. MSI ships the computer with a few game-focused applications, all of which can be uninstalled by the user. MSI's gaming center is the only one I kept in our testing machine, and through here you can create custom profiles that have different color themes, audio profiles, and even overclocking settings. So how much of a premium is MSI charging for the Aegis versus how much the hardware actually costs if you were to go out there and build a PC yourself? Naturally, I went onto Newegg and Amazon and spec'd out a computer as close as possible to this one. Parts like the computer case and the custom motherboard I obviously couldn't match, but nevertheless the total came out to just about $2,100. The price of the Aegis I have here hovers over $3,000 depending on where you look. For me, the design and convenience factor is not worth that markup, and honestly I suggest anyone that's looking to buy this PC to look at a few how to build guides and build one for themselves. The money that you could be saving can be put towards two 1080s and even other possible upgrades. With its unique design, chamber cooling, and beastly hardware, this thing is nothing to take lightly. MSI has definitely built one hell of a machine here, but honestly the price is a bit steep compared to what you can do by building your own machine. That's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to check out the MSI AEGIS Ti, I'll drop a link to it down below. As always,